Okay, work problems come next. I have my own way of doing work problems, and I like to say fraction plus fraction equals 1 as part of my generic setup, and I always put the alone time down in the denominators and the together times up in the numerator. Now, if you forget this, if you're feeling alone, you're feeling down, so to speak, and alone is down in the denominator. What's happening here is we have a fraction for one person plus fraction for another person adding up to 1, and the 1 stands for 100% or a complete job. Okay, let's start with this first problem. Fred can paint his house in 30 hours. Barney can paint the same house in 50 hours. How long would it take if they worked together? Notice I'm starting with fraction plus fraction equals 1. Fred's alone time is 30. Barney's alone time is 50. Now, we're trying to find what is their together time. How long does it take working together? Notice how easily this problem came out. We're going to multiply through by 150 on each side to clear the fractions. On the left, the 30 cancels, giving us 5x plus 50 cancels, going in 3 times. 3x equals 150. So 8x equals 150, and x equals 150 over 8, which we can reduce to 75 over 4 hours. Now, typically these problems have fractional answers. You might need to turn that into a mixed number, which would be 18 3/4 or 18.75 hours if you needed to write it in a more meaningful form. This next problem, 2 machines copying a report in 6 minutes. Machine A has an alone time of 6 minutes. There's the alone time. Machine B can do the same report in 8 minutes, the alone time. How long if they did it together? There we go. We're going to multiply through by 24, which is the least common denominator, and that will give us 4x plus 3x equals 24. So 7x equals 24, and x will equal 24/7. Notice again we don't have a nice clean answer. Now let me mention a couple of variations that can show up in these problems. Sometimes they throw an extra piece of information in here just to play with your brain. For example, it might say machine A can print a 2,000-page report, and machine B can print also the 2,000-page report in 8 minutes. Notice how the 2,000 pages is an extra piece of information you don't need. Sometimes there's extra information you don't need. Sometimes they give you the together time and they ask you to solve for the alone times. Sometimes you are told that one machine works and can do something 3 times as fast, so the times would be x and 3x, but they're giving you the together times and you solve for the missing variable. But as long as you understand that the together time is in the numerator and the alone time is in the denominator, pretty much that's the setup for these problems.